The New England Revolution haven't been passing the eye test for a while, but today I have 3 statistics that I think tell the story of their struggles this season. Hi everyone, I'm Julian Cardillo. I cover soccer for the Boston Herald, serve as a soccer analyst for Boston 25, and I'm also the owner of this YouTube channel. Please consider subscribing and follow me on X at Julian Cardillo. So in case you missed it, the Revolution did lose this past weekend 3-2 against the Chicago Fire. Now, it was more of the same from the Revolution, but to me, what was different was the tone coming out of Caleb Porter in the post-game press conference. This was really the first time where it seemed like Caleb Porter was admitting that his team probably wasn't going to be making the postseason. Now, the question is, why is that? How did this happen? Caleb Porter came into 2025 saying that this was his team now. He has had one of the best playmakers in the league in Carlos Heel. Matt Turner came back, they remade the back line, and it just hasn't worked out. Well, what I've done is look at some statistics. These statistics tell the story of what's gone wrong for the New England Revolution. Now, the very first statistic I'm going to pull out is that the Revolution have been putrid when conceding first. In fact, the Revolution haven't won a game in which they've conceded first in the last 2 seasons. In 2024, the Revolution were 0-17-2 when their opponent scored first. This season, the Revolution are 0-9-2 when their opponent scores first. They're also 0-7-1 when their opponent scores first at Gillette Stadium. To be a playoff team, to be successful, you need to string together victories. It is inevitable that you will sometimes concede first. Even the best teams concede first. It's just how it is. You have to be competitive in games, and you can't lose your focus. You can't lose your mettle. And that's unfortunately something that we've seen from the Revolution too much in the last 2 seasons. Okay, statistic number 2. The Revolution are 4-9-0 this season in 1-goal games. Yep, unsurprisingly, the Revolution are not particularly strong this season in those tight matches. They're actually also 1-6-0 at home this year in 1-goal games, which is not surprising given the state of their home record, but this is about going a little bit deeper. Now, why I think this is important is because playoff teams know they have to win tight games. That's just the nature of the playoffs, especially in a league like MLS that is dominated by parity more than anything else, really. I think parity was sort of the operative word when the league was founded, and I think it's held on to be true, even though we have super teams now like Miami and LAFC, and teams are getting a lot smarter at using their financial resources, but by and large, there's a lot of parity in this league still. And so in a league with so much parity, if you're not able to be competitive, not just on the field, but in results in those tight matches, you're not going to do well. Now, curiously, Caleb Porter got himself into a little bit of hot water earlier this summer when he made some comments about the 2021 Revolution team that won the Supporters' Shield and about their style of play. Now, I think if Caleb Porter could go back and do it all over, he probably wouldn't mention the 2021 Supporters' Shield winners at all. But what I think is relevant is in 2021, the Revolution actually won 18 1-goal games, en route to what at the time was the best record in league history. For me, teams that have done well season after season, that have gone on to the playoffs, that have lifted MLS Cup or won some kind of a trophy, have been excellent in those tight environments, and the Revolution just haven't done that this season. That's not to say that they haven't been competitive in games, but it seems like they found ways to lose them more than win them, and the stats certainly bear that out. Okay, for the third and final stat, I'm going to focus in on one player, and that player is Leo Campana. Here's a stat. Leo Campana has scored 6 goals this season, which I think is too few. Now, for some background, Leo Campana came into this season with a lot of expectations. He was a blockbuster signing in the offseason from Miami, and the expectation was that he would come in and start a lot of games and score a lot of goals. That really hasn't happened for a few different reasons. Some of them tactical, some of them related to fitness and injuries. In fact, Campana has missed 6 games this season due to injury, and one game, in fact, this past game against Chicago, because of national team duty with the Ecuadorian national team. I think what's important here is the amount of goals he scored relative to other teams in the Revolution's neck of the woods in the standings. So right now, in my opinion, Leonardo Campana isn't even in the neighborhood of strikers on teams that are below the playoff line. So what do I mean by that? As of September 8th, the New York Red Bulls are below the playoff line. Their main striker, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, has 15 goals. In Atlanta, Emmanuel Latelat has 7 goals. Toronto's Theo Corvinu has 6 goals, the same amount as Leo Campana. Montreal Impact's Prince Owosu has 12 goals, and Christian Benteke from DC has 8 goals. If you add all of those players together, you get an average goal total of 9.4. Leo Campana is well below that average with his 6 goals. On top of that, he has an expected goals of 8.5 for the rest of the season, which means he is currently below that average. He is essentially a below average striker in terms of scoring output among the non-playoff teams. Among the playoff teams, it's a steeper climb. So the Revolution again just played the Chicago Fire, who are a borderline playoff team this year, but Hugo Kuipers scored his 16th goal and Philip Zinkernagel scored his 12th. Those are the sort of production numbers the Revolution need out of their striker. They have been quite thin up top, which is something that they tried to address by signing Dor Turgeman late in the transfer window, and that's going to be an area of concern, I think, going into the offseason as well. But to me, the fact that they've been so reliant on Carlos Gil, not just as a playmaker, but as a scorer, the fact that they haven't had additional scoring options either when Campana is hurt or to get on the end of some of the chances that are coming in from the wings or coming off of Gil is another reason why the Revolution have been below the playoff line for most of this season. I'm sure you could find more advanced stats that talk about the Revolution's foibles in 2025. We'll see how these statistics continue to change as we approach the end of the season. I'll be here to cover it. Thanks so much for your time.